It was a midway of my speech at the Cryptorsy event in Dubai, and one man asked me, Vlad, we have a super narrow niche product and we want to bootstrap our community to be able to maintain more retailers coming to us, bringing liquidity and helping us to actually becoming bigger because I think there is no way for you to grow without the community support. How can we do so? And I will just, man, it depends on what is your product, the stage are you in, and then the amount of fundamentals you've built, and then the exact point of a strategy you are in. This is super complicated question to ask and get it answered right away, you know what I mean? And that's why the idea popped up in my head to shoot the video for you guys where we can walk you through the concept divided by the stages on what's important at each of them to be able to be always bullish and to be able to drive the sentiment forward. My name is Vlad. I'm a founder and CEO at the leading Web3 marketing studio, Cryptorsy. And today, something special gonna be happening because we will be talking about the bullish sentiments and the bullish patterns that most of the Web3 projects trying to drive you up because either they have a goal to get more eyes peeled on them, or they have a goal as a Web3 founders to initially kick off this stage of the rapid maturity whereby they are supported by the partners, whereby the liquidity comes to them, whereby most of the dominant players in the Web3 accepting them right away. So, and if you would think about the current stages by simplifying this to the nitty-gritty, there will be three of them. First one is being the early stage bullish signals, whereby what do you need to initially popping up and provide some perceived value out of what you do. If you would think about this carefully, you will end up with a couple of ticks in your ballpark list. First of all is being founders with a backstory out there, because I had the call the other day with a really huge investor, a friend of mine, and I asked him, how do you make those extremely hyper-focused and extremely ROI positive decisions while investing in the Web3 projects? And he said to me, Vlad, I just feel. I just need to feel. I don't care about the P&L. I don't care about the roadmap. I less care about that than the actual bet on the winning horse, which is a founder. So the founder with no backstory is extremely hard to even think in your picture of world how the thing can fly out, right? The second point of this is being the product MVP and the early stage product market fit, without of which it's really hard to pull the thread off, right? Why the people would join you, why the people would believe that your idea is really promising, and it is. It has some early traction, right? The third point here in this picture is VCs, or at least some angel investors, reputable, right? They invested in you because think about the community and retailers. They would, imagine the case, right? I'm gonna invest in the TGE that's gonna be happening soon. But okay, who has already validated that my choice is right? What I would do, I would just find the blueprint that the project did and who already believed in them with the domain experience by providing the money, which is the highest level of trust in the investment in the business realm. So if there are tier 1 or at least tier 2 reputable VC firms or maybe angel investors, it has a huge promise in their perceived value because those guys, they are not a group of fools to invest in the such projects, right? So that's extremely important. The next stuff in the early bullish signals is grants from the ecosystem. It really depends because timing means lots of things, guys, in the Web3. And the idea of understanding, okay, which chain they are built on the top, are they already funded and supported, maybe by winning some grants programs, maybe by doing some collaborations with the local, and I would say core products right there in the chain. It means a lot at this stage because as opposed to having these things, let's say in the maturity stage, okay, that's kind of fine, but it should be there, right? This is not a big surprise for me as a retailer to see this thing already done. This is important at the early bullish signal stage. The next coming up is the kick-off stage, whereby project gets bigger and scaling the business model by tapping into right audience by seizing the momentum and doubling down on what works. So at this stage, it's extremely important to understand, okay, what are those perceived value gems that can be presented to my audience to be able to tune them into the stuff what I do. And the first stuff is, of course, the recognition, which creates by partnering up with reputable firms, by partnering up with the dominant players on the market. When they understand your value, you kind of provide them the same. So that's the win-win sort of collaboration between you and them. The next stuff is, of course, there are some people are talking about you, which is the community, right? And the community can be measured in its efficiency, of course, in the engagement rate. So the more engagement rate you have, the better you are in terms of delivering the message and the fitting narrative right for your audience. Engagement rate should be more than a 10%, which is the good midway as a metric that you need to follow as well. The next stuff, maybe you create some sort of this scenario whereby you've got the informational blurb that is pretty relevant for a PR outlets to list and talk about your story, to discuss it, where you as a founder, maybe you as a chief executive, or you as a part of a team can go there and genuinely help to deliver that mission, to deliver that core value for those people. You know what I mean? That's really important. And then when the community picks up, they understand, okay, what is it for me? There's a big question. Okay, if I contribute, all right, well, what am I having out of this? And if you provide them incentives, rest assured, your community will make you extremely viral if they understand why. What's in it for me? All right, find the answer for them. So they will create a bunch of the content, the orders of magnitude of a user-generated content that kills the algo of a Twitter, of a LinkedIn, of a whatever guys you're placed on. But we as a Cryptorsy, as a dedicated marketing, recommend you to capitalize on the dominant platforms like decentralized media. The Forecaster might be the good way. X, still kind of the home for the Web3 and not the Web3 for all of the projects, right? And then it depends on your niche, depends on your geo and everything, where you need to be always present. So the better you are at incentivizing people in your community, the more chances you have to pay $0 for the marketing to grow exponentially. After the kickoff stage that we just discussed, the maturity stage clocks in, whereby different things are measured, which is, first of all, you need to understand that the tier 1 QLs are confirmed. They are either invested in your QL round, or potentially they're just a part of your promotional team that are okay to maybe work for the tokens with a clear KPI structures and everything. That's and that's what I see in my practice, because we have launched dozens of brands in the different niches and the industries and the timings, bear market, bull market, different, right? Extremely what's being overlooked is the ability to create the treasury, to create the message that's going to be promoted by the right vehicle, which is the QLs, the PR, the content. Content is still the king, right? Which is the different sources and the vehicles that are multiplying the value of your message, right? That's something that most of the gems operating with at the level of the mindset when they have just the inception of the idea. The next up is tier 1 exchanges, right? Everybody understands that tier 1 exchanges, they are bullish flag for most of the retailers, because they are buying, we usually call them in crypto paper hands, right? They're usually buying from the diamond hands who took more risk and provided initial liquidity at the earliest stages to be able to have a bigger up mark, and they are fine to upload the potential backs, right, when the listing on a centralized exchange tier 1 potentially is done. So it's extremely important to have, at least in your roadmap or in your promotion, in your announcements, confirmed tier 1 or at least tier 2 exchanges that are going to list you on. The next stuff is liquidity. How good you are decoding the conundrum to build the buying pressure, which is the token distribution techniques and the methodologies. We have a 5-step alter methodology at Cryptorsy that we have creating a bunch of buying pressure, hundreds of millions of dollars already made throughout those funnels to keep the protocols alive. Because if they don't have a buying pressure, if their model is weak and sloppy, they don't have enough money to sustain that business, which is bring us to the picture where they slowly but steadily dying, unfortunately, right? Because market becomes bigger. You need to understand here token distribution demand alongside with the next point in our roadmap within the maturity stage, scaling your product not just within the Web3 ecosystem, because it's extremely tight. Think about it, what's the point for us to create the highly techy solutions for the Web3 people, which is a 1 or 0.15% from all global population of the people here on planet Earth? You need to tap into Web2 audience, you need to figure out the way, the bridges, and the entrance points for them to go to you and experience the level, the quality of how you solve their problems, right? And essentially then, if you rely completely on the token distribution model, this is your only selling and the buying pressure and the revenue model from which you kind of getting your business funded, this is a bad idea, because you need live buying and retaining customers each day, every day. That's the premise of the business, isn't it? So that's what I discussed. And also, I mean, it comes with the different also PR activities. It comes with the integration. It comes with the tapping to the different ecosystem where you're becoming bigger within your spectrum of the tools inside the armory. It also goes with your content distribution models, whereby those are shorts or those are illustrated video, 3D, animations, everything. It's just the idea, because you understand now where the attention goes, money flows. The better you are at mastering those, the more chances you're gonna have to survive in this gold rush. I like to call it a digital gold rush. And the way how we capitalize momentum is extremely important right now, because it's one in a decade that we can experience, in a centuries even, that we can experience the timing that we have right now. Next 18 months gonna be extremely full of craziness up in the streets here in Web3, in crypto, and Web2 as well. A bunch of the bullish momentums are coming up. And we have been always protecting and bringing the idea to the masses that Cryptorsy is a vehicle that multiplies a valuable product with a good intrinsic value, because we can increase the perceived value, which creates the more momentum, which creates more traction for the Web3 and the early Web2 products that are becoming Web3. I wish you guys a really fruitful day, and I'll see you in the next one. I hope you enjoyed this video, and make sure to put your big thumb here, subscribe to that channel, and write down your content. What actually caught your eye from this video? What is the key insight you brought out from this video? I'll see you guys at the top.